There are several strategies in decision making. What we shall take up is called playing the averages. Suppose we are playing a game of chance that has multiple payoffs of -5, +3 and $10. And let the chances of winning these payoffs be 30%, 50% and 20%. If we play this game repeatedly, then the average payoff will be the sum of the probability of each outcome times its payoff value. That comes to $2 per play.
That's nothing but the expectation, right?
Yes, and this average is called expected monetary value or EMV. Play this game 100 times and you will make, you're right, $200. We can apply the same reasoning to decision trees. For this probability node with payoffs at the tips, we calculate EMV as P1 times R1 plus P2 times R2 plus P3 times R3. One important point worth noting is that P1, P2 and P3 are conditional probabilities. They are subject to the decision path that was chosen to arrive at that node. Let's use the banking example to explain the idea behind the decision tree. Every borrower would have traveled along one of the many paths on that tree. Suppose the borrower has arrived at the topmost probability node on the decision tree. The EMV for this node is 0.753 times 8,000 minus 0.247 times 5,000, and that gives us 4,789. Suppose this chance node is traversed 100 times by different borrowers. Then the expected earnings at the node level is simply 4789 times 100. You get my point? Considering this entire decision tree, the correct decision based on our strategy is one that maximizes EMV.
What if there are several nodes on the tree?
Good question. Here's how we proceed. We start from the edge nodes on the decision tree and calculate the EMVs. We then fold back towards the left using an EMV maximizing strategy. Why don't I explain this with the decision tree that Venkat drew up? I'll leave you to verify the EMVs at all of the nodes. If an applicant were to make under 1.2 million annually, then the bank must choose one of two decisions.
Approve the loan or hold on to the treasury bill.
Excellent, Lisa. The bank compares the EMV of 4,789 with the 5,000 it would have made on the treasury bill.
That's a no-brainer. It'll reject the loan.
That's correct. But if the applicant makes over 1.2 million, then the loan must be approved.
T-Bank makes 6,400 on this loan.
This is an average number across many such borrowers. Suppose the borrowers were adequately representative of T-Bank's overall clientele. Then, if the bank followed this kind of decision making, it would realize 5,644 on average for every 100,000 rupees in its reserves.
5.6%? That seems kind of low.
At least here in India. Remember, this was only an experiment. What if the loan amounts were 10 times higher?
God, that's a whole new decision tree.
And that is just one of my exercises.
I notice we haven't used any spreadsheets through all of our discussions.
Good point. Spreadsheets do play a significant role. When the decision tree becomes large and complicated, we have no other resort. Precision Tree is a good plugin for Excel that helps you build decision trees on a spreadsheet and then go through all of what we discussed. There is still a lot that we can do with Excel alone. We could examine the sensitivity of whatever solution we arrive at whenever the problem parameters change.
Like interest rates and such?
Yes, altering the interest rate can change the solution radically. If our treasury bills were to return over 6.5%, then T-Bank wouldn't want to make any loans.
No kidding. What if the salary levels changed?
You mean the proportion of those who make over 1.2 million? I've carved out an exercise for that.
I should quit asking questions.
Keep them coming, Lisa. You'll also discover how to evaluate the decision-making process using terms such as EVSI or EVPI. We've now come to the end of Statistics for Business 1. Over the last few weeks, we've covered a lot of ground.
I've now become a pro at this stuff.
Quit being so humble, Lisa. If you have traveled this far, you're well along your way to become a quant. And I hope you've decided to enroll for the second course in the series.
SFB2. That's another road less taken.
One that will make all the difference.
I wish there was some way to visualize all of this.